1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Welcome to our very
my man here.
Bomaye.
Yeah.
Bomaye, Fight Club captain in the building.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for having me on.
This is the second member of the Bomaye Fight Club joining us in back-to-back weeks. Right down below, there he is, the muscle of the group, Mr. Thomas, manager of 5150, and we are so honored that you've decided to join us here. He is Mr. Bud Heavy. How the hell are you doing, sir?
I'm living the dream, man. How about you guys?
So, I mean, all 360 keep your face. Don't make it look pretty, but I'll spit it first. That's who I am. So.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is, please note. Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway. But you make it no worse. Every time you hear these words, I'll be down the road, cause I got the odds are better on my side. Why don't you try to be wise? Help me, I'm calling you twice. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat and down, I press the lens just to tell you, don't lead the way.
My apologies. Let me try that all over again. Can you hear me now there, Papa Smokes?
I can hear you now, Munson.
All right. Now we can get into the singing. I'll do that one more time as Vassar69 telling me, volume, Bob, pay attention to the buttons. Good evening, Vassar, of course. And good evening
man.
To B. Carter once again joining us here. Wonderful. It's going to be fun. Well, let me start that all over again. We're the video bros. I'm Bobby Munson, that man beside me, the man with the angelic voice. And as Vassar69 so well put it recently, if he smokes, he pokes, and nobody smokes more than that man beside me, Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, how you doing, sir?
Ooh, yeah, Munson. It is Thursday night. I'm ready to go. Volume or no volume, I'm here for you every time we can get through any of this, and I'm pleased to be here. How all my wrestling people doing out there as well?
And hopefully everybody is doing fantastic, and yes, fired up indeed. It's going to be a fun night here tonight. And joining us once again, Auntie Wooji. Wonderful to see you. Can't wait to see you down at PPW Presents Love is Dead on Saturday, February the 18th. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to get to talk about that later in the program. If you're joining us in a live capacity, either on YouTube or on Twitch right here, thank you for joining, first of all. And second of all, this is a double header. It's what we promised. We're going to be bringing you Fusioned and Ring Respect Radio each and every week here on our local establishment and on the Video Bros Network. So the first half dedicated Fusion. We're going to recap Fusion here in just moments. And the second half, we're going to give you a couple-minute break in between. We'll be back with Bring Respect Radio. And tonight, we're going to be dedicating it all to our good friends, the company that we love and work for, Papa Smokes, Prairie Pro Wrestling. We're going to do a couple of watch-alongs. We're going to talk about the upcoming event. And we've got 2 free tickets to give out on the show here tonight. That's right, 2 tickets to Love is Dead in Saskatoon, Saturday, February the 18th. All you got to do is pay attention to the stream. Make sure that you're subscribed to OLE, our local establishment, on YouTube, and also to Prairie Pro Wrestling on YouTube as well, too. If you're doing all those and you're paying close attention, you'll find the answer to the question later in the program that you need to answer in order to win yourself 2 free tickets to that great event. And it's going to be a big one, Bob Smokes. But, hey, we have to get into MLW Fusion, and we got a little bit to talk about here tonight. This was exactly what I thought was going to start to happen to Fusion once I heard MLW Underground announce. I hope this isn't going to become a trend going forth, but this was not my favorite episode. I'm sure B. Carter can attest to this. If you watch tonight, this was not one of the best episodes we've ever seen of MLW Fusion. A far cry from what we had just last week.
And it's sad, too, because they've had a number of inconsistent episodes over the last month or two. After all summer and fall, it was hot. It was heating up. They were doing the best with what they had. And now it seems like we're kind of getting the extra stuff that they had from tapings. And it's a lot of filler material on here these days. And it's sad because Fusion used to be such a strong show, but it hasn't been lately.
Yeah, and unfortunately, again, like we said just last week, Underground, we're going to have to try to find a way to find it, reach out to some of our American friends there and see if we can do some sort of watch along in behind the scenes so we can keep up to what's going on in MLW, because it seems like that's where all the good content is going to be. Again, they did heavy promotion on this episode of Fusion for Reels, for Underground, for Tuesday night with the big title fight between Alexander Hammerstone and EJ Nduka. But this episode of Fusion, we started off with tag team action. And again, this is where the show started off quite well. And again, we have, looks like a first-time chatter here on a live capacity. Our Birdman 15 says, Papa Smokes.
Yeah, man.
This is awesome. We're rocking and rolling here tonight.
I like it.
That's good. That's good. And again, make sure to pay attention if you want an opportunity to win big. And that's win 2 tickets to the PPW Presents Love is Blind. That's coming up in the second half of the show. But make sure you follow it all along. Get your questions in. Talk to Papa Smokes and I. We love a lively chat. It's ruckus up in here. We have a good time with it. But we had tag team action, and this is going to be a big theme throughout our entire night on both sides of the show here, Papa Smokes, is tag team action. The Samoan SWAT team, that's our boy Lance Anoa'i.
Oh, yeah.
Show. And, of course, the big man, Juicy Banao, undefeated in MLW so far as a tag team, taking on the FBI, and this being Little Guido, known for the FBI team, but alongside with Ray Jazz, a relative newcomer here. This I enjoyed, but let's just go here. I don't know what was worse, the matchups or the guy doing color commentating voiceovers. It was tough. It really was. And even I have the utmost respect for both Dombrowski and Matt Stryker. I like them both, but
yeah.
They really are missing Bocchini. I'm just gonna say it. They're missing.
I think they are. And you can see, like in the last, since the restart after the last break at Christmas time, you can see that there's something different in the production value of the entire show. And it's funny about the comment that was just made, because we were joking around when we watched the show that I said it sounds like Matt Stryker is doing some of these voiceovers on his phone speaker in his car or something like that. Like, it just didn't really sound too pro. And I love the guys, but I think they don't have a lot to work with right now.
We got B. Carter saying they need to get the team from Prairie Pro. Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to this. I mean, I would be quite okay if Court Bauer wanted to reach out to the Video Bros and get our high-level energy for some MLW commentary. I mean, I'm up to the task. How about you, Papa Smokes? We going to take that call?
I'm completely down, Munson. I've been saying we got to go down to a show one of these times and introduce ourselves in person and such. As nothing competes with an in-person handshake and meeting. I mean, let's do it. Let's reach for the stars.
That's right. We can get there, and we'll get there with the help of all our great fans that watch along every single week along with us. This matchup, there wasn't much of a matchup here. Let's not kid ourselves. Juicy and Lance are on a whole different level right now. It was great to see little Guido. Ray Jazz got some nice stuff in. They gave a good background of this young man, of a very seasoned mat wrestler and catch can style wrestling. So that really built him up very, very well. So I like to see that. I like to see that story being told and sold to us. But again, the Samoan SWAT team, they're after the gold. They're really looking at it. They even said they want hustle and power. Where the hell has Tank been as of late? We haven't seen him for since the Battle Riot, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, eventually tag team gold has got to be up for grabs. And the Samoan SWAT team have got to be in line now. I mean, they've taken out every team that the company has put in front of them, destroyed every team that's been put in front of them. I think they have to be in line now for a tag team title opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. And I liked this match a little better than the last couple of Samoan SWAT team TV matches, because they've had a couple of total squash matches against unknown job guys. But the FBI was something just a little bit different. There's a name value with that. Guido and the Stromboli and the boys had their run in WWE back a long time ago. I saw those guys live have a match in the arena here in Saskatoon in, I want to say 05 or 06, something like that. And really, honestly, Guido doesn't look much different than then. He's maybe got a couple crow's feet or something like that, but he looks pretty good. And I like the fact that they've got the veteran teamed up with the young guy. Was it Ray Jazz?
Yeah, Ray Jazz.
Yeah. And he looks good. He looks like he's got some potential. He's got an awesome physique, and he's got that amateur background and everything. He looked like he was doing, like they let Samoan SWAT team let the FBI get a couple of spots on them at least. So it wasn't a complete squash match. It looked like these guys, the FBI, had a little more fight in them than the last few opponents of the Samoan SWAT team. So I'm all for this. I think it did double duty. It put the Samoan SWAT team over again, and also kind of debuted this Ray Jazz kid. And again, the guy looks like he could have potential.
Yeah, he really does. So again, I'd like to see more of Ray Jazz, of course, moving forward. Samoan SWAT team, they could be on every single damn week as far as I'm concerned. In fact, if they give me them on Fusion, I'll continue watching. Doesn't matter how many other matches that they put on there that I'm not a big fan of. As we are now being joined in the chat, Melball Collins joining us. How are you doing? Wonderful to see you. Thank you for stopping into the show. It is hopping in here. We got a crowd pop of smokes. The chat's rocking and rolling. I knew we could do this. Everyone's, you know, they hear free. They know that Money's delivering the free tickets later in the show, so they come stop on by to party with the Video Bros, because that's what happens when you join us here on stream. Anything goes, anything can happen. You can win big. It's always a party up in here Thursday night. So thank you for joining in. As we move along on this one, we had EJ Nduka dropping his promo, getting ready for the last man standing match this Tuesday night on Reels, the debut of MLW Underground. Again, he's fired up. He sounded good, very convincing going into the match with Alexander Hammerstone.
And we've had nothing but good things to say about Nduka's promos leading up to during and leading up to his feud with Alexander Hammerstone. He's delivered a couple real big bombs, and by bombs I mean good ones. And then tonight's was no different. I don't know where he came from, but it's only in this run against Hammerstone that I've really noticed his promo ability is quite excellent. And he delivered this perfectly with absolute conviction. And I've completely turned around in my thoughts about Nduka. He's selling this feud awesomely. And with great promos like that and the look that he has, this is a more than legit contender for Alexander Hammerstone. And we don't know the backstage decisions that are being made at this time, but I could completely believe that EJ Nduka could come out of this last standing match as the new MLW champion.
And that would really throw a wrench in the plans for the big match of Alexander Hammerstone versus Jacob Fatu coming up this weekend, actually. So, I mean, and maybe it's breaking kayfabe a little bit when they go ahead and do that kind of stuff, but who knows? We never know. Maybe they're pulling the wool over all our eyes. Court Bauer maybe a little trickier than we're giving them credit for. But after that, we got a little bit of a scene with the Bulldogs saying that they're at home in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, infamously coming from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This was really Davey Jr. showing some moves to the Billington Bulldogs, telling them what you got to be able to do to accomplish fighting the Beaumaye Fight Club. It was filler.
Yeah, but they got them on screen, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think they just need to bring those kids along slowly. One's 19, one's 21. I mean, they're just dipping their toes into the pool at this time. And they need to they need some time to work on stuff. Now, unfortunately, I don't think Davey Boy Jr. is the guy to teach them about promos. They'll have to go somewhere else for that, I suppose. But I don't know. I think it's good that they're participating in this tag team division. I think it's good that they're bringing in some new blood, some guys that have a name behind them and a reputation and stuff. And I think this is just sufficient to get them on TV and for us to get another look at them, and they can say a couple things and just be seen next to a decent level star like Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, you bet there, Papa Smokes. But yeah, as B. Carter said, poor segment again. Yeah, I can see people's reasoning for feeling that way too. Again, and it's a lot to do with Davey Boy Smith Jr. Great in the ring, looks great, has everything going for him, but doesn't have that charisma that a lot of wrestlers do, and especially not the charisma of his opponent Alex Kane when it comes to the Beaumaye Bulldogs feud that's going on. We'll talk about Alex Kane in just a moment. But first, we got to get to this next big matchup on the card, and I'm talking big as in there was a big guy in it. Dr. Dax, who we haven't seen in quite some time, who has been the sideshow pet to Holodead most of the time, usually on a leash, comes out to fight Vinny Pacifico. It happened. Dax wins. What else do you want me to say?
Yeah, there's not a lot you can say. I'm going to try and be positive about this. Vinny Pacifico also looked like a guy that maybe you could do something with at some point, kind of. He looked physically all right. He had a pulse. He had boots and gear. He was in there, and he did some stuff. Whatever he could do against big, clumsy Dr. Dax, who is very big and reminds me physically of the Abyss. However, he's not in the same league whatsoever as a wrestler as the Abyss. At any rate, this was a match. I don't know what they're doing with Dr. Dax. They had that faction going for a while, that strange Sangre with Dr. Dax, Holodead, Arez, and Gangrel. And that just, there doesn't seem to be any of those people left. We saw Gangrel a month or two ago have a match, whereas he was kind of the manager of Strange Sangre, but I don't know what's going on here. Dax usually is on the leash and stuff, and now he's got a match. We've seen him have one other match before too, but I don't know what they're doing here. There can't honestly be an angle involving Dr. Dax in the future, can there? I mean, I don't know. This is just inexplicable to me, but it's like, it's like a preliminary match that they cut out of the main show or whatever, and then just ran out of stuff to put on, so they just did this.
There we go. There's Gangrel's big appearance of the season. He was one of the many bodies laid out by the mysterious card caller that they still haven't really got around to. But I want to go back to this for a second, because you can now officially call it the gag match, which stands for garbage, absolute garbage, according to B. Carter. I love that. But yes, after that wonderful piece of wrestling, oh God, I can't even say that with a straight face. We got a promo from Taya Valkyrie, and this promo consists of her saying, "Is it hot in here? No, it's just me. And what's even hotter is someone who's coming to MLW very soon." Ooh, who could she be talking about? Oh, maybe it's her husband that's been announced only everywhere for this coming weekend over at MLW. So, of course, anybody who knows, John Hennigan, Johnny Fusion heading his way to MLW, and that's really what this was about, this to allude to his appearance coming up.
Yeah, and it's kind of too bad that she didn't have a match to push or anything like that. Do we know who her opponent is on the weekend? Is it Billy Starks or something like that?
No, I think that match happened on a previous taping that they haven't aired yet. If I'm not mistaken, she might be fighting Delmi Exo this weekend. Yeah.
Well, that might be good. Yeah,
hey, B. Carter, we need your help.
Yeah. He's like Joe Rogan's Jamie. He just gets him to look everything up for him as he's talking.
Hey, well, to turn it over to our fact checker in the chat, B. Carter.
But Delmi Exo we saw as part of the Sea Stars when they were first trying to get the featherweights division going, and she looks like a good athlete. I could see her having some good singles matches, so I would be interested in seeing Taya Valkyrie versus Delmi Exo.
Yeah, well, hopefully that is the matchup, but I'm sure we'll find out in just moments, of course. But moving on from there, it was promo. No, it's good promos at least. We got Hammerstone's promo leading into the match with the Duca. This was fantastic. Great by Alexander Hammerstone.
Yeah, and he needed a really good promo after that. Awesome. Okay, right.
Papa Smoke's right. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. You're on top of it. But I'm pretty sure Delmi has a match, though. This week.
Good.
So
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
But I was going to say Hammerstone needed a really strong promo after that banger by EJ and Duca earlier, which, I mean, that's what I like about hearing both sides of the story is sometimes the first promo is so good and you're just thinking, my God, what's the next guy going to say? There's not much he even can say. Well, Hammerstone proved me wrong again, and his promo was even more convincing, sounding more like the veteran and getting personal with EJ and Duca. And there was there were a couple of rocks slung during that promo and a couple of gut shots that might have gone a little below the belt there with some of his mockery. And I like it, man. It's just heating up this match beautifully.
As Pete Carter mentioned, I don't respect you. You're a boy, Hammer. Yeah, he killed it. And this is what made Hammer interesting in the first place is not only is he good in the ring, but the dude can talk. And when he's fired up and serious, he's a great promo.
Yeah, I forget that sometimes. When I think of Hammerstone, I think of some of the great matches he's had. I think of his great build and all that stuff and his cool look as a wrestler in the ring. But I forget sometimes that he's pretty good on a promo and he brings emotion into it. And I think that's what's needed nowadays instead of memorizing scripts and trying to imagine that you're emotional in certain parts or something. No, you got to get into it and say the shit that you're actually feeling. And that way it comes out naturally. People can't be bullshitted so easily. People know bad acting when they see it in a movie, and they know when someone's not being sincere when they're talking to you. And it's even just a feeling sometimes. And that's the beauty of a good promo is it's the opposite of that. You get the feeling he's actually talking to you. He's actually telling you the truth and letting you peek in on his actual feelings at the time.
Yeah, you bet. So after Hammer's great promo, of course, you can never go wrong with this man right here. I could listen to this guy talk all day. Boom-aye, boom-aye, boom-aye. It's Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas. Whatever he has to say was fantastic. And he's talking about the Bulldogs. Then he starts disrespecting the UK and stuff, saying that nobody good has ever come out of there and they haven't been into the States in 50 years. He says that they've got bad teeth. I mean, Alex Kane was just a whole ball of fire here tonight. And I love listening to it. He's never short of the punches.
Always. And again, another treat for us getting to hear verbally on screen from my close personal friend, Mr. Thomas, who they've realized now is a talker. We didn't realize when we interviewed him what a great personality that guy has and what a funny dude he is and what a well-spoken guy. Well, apparently MLW figured that out finally too, because they're letting him in there. Instead of being the silent, mean-faced bodyguard, now he gets to talk a little bit. And they're not giving him a whole promo because Kane is the star, but he'll just give a nice little intro, a nice fastball right down the plate, and then Alex Kane just knocks it out of the park. He's got the mockery. He's got the just making his opponents look about an inch tall with his jokes and his threats and everything. Fantastic work, as always, from the Suplex Assassin.
And see, B. Carter saying enjoyed the promo, but it's hard to get excited for the match. You know, and that might just be some of the charisma side of Davey Boy that makes it hard to get into the advertised match for this weekend between him and Alex Kane in a catch-as-catch-can, no ropes matchup. I like the concept of this matchup, and I think both guys are very capable of putting on a great matchup in there. And I think that Alex Kane has enough personality to keep the personality side of the whole match going, while at the same time delivering a very serious catch-as-catch-can style matchup. And I hope that they give us that. I'm really looking forward to it based on the concept, because I myself, and I know you too, Papa Smokes, big fans of catch-as-catch-can wrestling.
For sure. And I think these are two guys that can pull that off, because these are two wrestlers that have done the amateur style, some kinds of MMA style and all that too. And this kind of a match doesn't need ropes. If they're just going to grapple and do some striking moves, then they aren't going to do the rope work, running the ropes, climbing the ropes, all that kind of stuff. Now, having said all that, I'm mildly worried about that, because you remember, this isn't the first no ropes match we've had in MLW since you and I have been watching. You know what I'm talking about. The last one was
Filthy Island, by chance?
Filthy Island. And that had some potential too, because Dominic Guarini was in it. The Von Erichs were in it, or not the Von Erichs.
No.
They ended up interfering in it later, but there were some wrestler dudes that were in that match, and it was kind of like, well, all right, we might get to see some serious grappling of some kind, and it just didn't turn out like that at all. Of course, everything was a little bit topsy-turvy on Filthy Island in the first place, to say the least. Their sound man was Bud Heavy, for one thing. That was almost my favorite part of it, but I'm still going to try and be optimistic about this match, just because I think Kane's really good. I think Davey Boy can hold up his part of it to do a kind of serious match like this. And hey, this is what MLW and Fusion is supposed to be all about, is mixing styles and having different styles clashing in opponents and all that kind of stuff. Have a little jiu-jitsu match, have a little amateur wrestling match. We, of course, work it up a little bit in the pro wrestling style, but I'm going to remain optimistic that this might be good.
Yeah, again, that's optimism that's going to carry us. Up next, we had a promo from Sam Adonis, who made his debut in MLW just last week. Made a very impactful debut, of course, and delivered a great promo afterwards. I had a feeling that they had said that he was in the main event of this week, but I guess I was wrong. So promo is what we got from Sam Adonis, which finished with him saying that a wise man once said, "A genius is crazy before he's rich." So he says he's on his way to being a genius.
Yeah, I like this Sam Adonis already. His debut was good, especially probably to an audience who's not all that familiar with him. He came out good. He looks like a top of the middle card guys kind of dude. You know what I mean? Like this, I'd say he could be possibly a future middleweight champion kind of material type guy. I also think that his alliance with Cesar Duran will work in his favor. And this was a pretty good promo tonight as well. He's got the whole style where you know that he worked it out on paper beforehand and all that, and still he delivers it with some seriousness. He's got a good voice. He's got a cool look and all that. I'm into Sam Adonis. I'm interested in what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, very curious to see how it goes. Again, he likes to beat people up. He's not looking to be a star. He just wants to be the best at what he does. After that, Pop Smokes, we get to that time of the night. It's time for the main event of the evening. This match is another overstuffed 6-man package of luchadors where we're not going to get to actually see anybody show off the talent that they have. One fall.
One fall.
Sorry, I just had to say it again. I'm tired of these matches. We've said it before. These are very cooperative little luchador matchups that feature everybody showing up to put Microman over, and I did not need this as a main event. I didn't even really need it on the show, period. On one side of the teams, we had Delirious. Okay, that's a positive. Mini Abismo Negro, who at this point, I'm tired of the fact that he's been pigeonholed into these matchups every time, and we don't get to see his true talent on display. And then, good God, Azteca 31. Like we need one of Cesar's henchmen in a mask fighting in the main event. Versus La Estrella making a debut in MLW from Dragon Gate. Hey, a Dragon Gate guy, that sounds interesting. Nope, didn't get much of that. Lindsay Dorado, the MLW middleweight champion, who played second fiddle to the big star, Microman, of course. So, yeah. And then they should have sent us to Dragon Gate again. I damn well agree, actually. I could have gone for another Dragon Gate matchup instead of what we got. This was exactly what every single one of these matches is. It's had the same spots, the same cooperation. The only difference was Estrada got pushed, or no, sorry, Lindsay got pushed by Delirious into Estrada, who didn't see it, thinks that Lindsay was against him, leaves, goes to the back. Thanks for coming out. We don't get to see anything of you. And now it's a 2 versus, well, sorry, no, 1 1/4 versus 3-person matchup.
Yeah, and man, the odds are stacked against them, and that yet you know who's going to win this match because, like you said, it's the same fucking match that we get with these guys every time. Mini Abismo Negro has had to do the job. I guess he didn't do the job in this match tonight, but he's been pinned by Microman so many times now, and the only difference in this match is that Gino Medina wasn't in it this time because they've let him go too, but yeah, I wouldn't even want to see this as the opening match just to get warmed up. And they present this as the main event on this show. And it's sad, really.
Yeah. The on guard, yeah, you're right.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
We ended up chatting through most of this match because it just wasn't interesting. I don't care. I don't need to see Microman get put over. He's funny in certain spots backstage with some of the boys, but enough of the Microman push. It even made me make this statement at the beginning. I fear they'll put the MLW Middleweight Championship on Microman before the end of the year.
I pray that you're wrong about that, Munson. That's just awful, and yet it's probably in the realm of possibility. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it, but I know that they've got a thing going with Microman. They're going to push him. Each individual crowd seems to like seeing him once, because it's kind of one of those attractions, something you don't see every day. It's like, I don't want to say it, but it's like seeing the midgets match or the giant or whatever kinds of characters you have in your wrestling company. And yeah, Microman's a marvel, it's amazing. He can do the things he can with the limitations he has physically. Yes, I get it. It's a nice story and everything, but I just don't want to watch these matches, and I feel bad for the talent that has to get buried in order to put him over.
Yeah, like B. Carter saying, diminishing 5 other guys in the process. They need to have some more pride. I agree. And again, it's nothing. I'm not trying to slag off Microman by any means. Again, like you said, it's astonishing, despite his small comings, pun intended, that he is capable of doing what he does. And I mean, I applaud it. And again, I don't mind it in a certain capacity every once in a while. There's some fun spots. The Battle Riot spot was fun with him and everything like that. But yeah, Microman winning the belt would be worse than David Ark. Yeah. I mean, right up. Yeah. It is that is the kind of booking it becomes. I mean, I guess, well, I mean, Arquette was even less a wrestler than Microman, but it's about the same weight. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, it's just, it was one and done. This went down to Estrella not being there to assist. And somehow Lince Dorado and Microman do everything to take out a team of three and get a victory in this one, finishing off Azteca 31. A victory that is unnecessary and unwarranted and has me fearing that this is what Fusion is going to become, is the dumping ground for the extras, while Reels will get all the good stuff moving forward.
Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be too. And just as a footnote on this match too, is just it's so diminishing to the middleweight champion right now, Lince Dorado. I mean, they've always treated that title with a similar respect to the open weight championship or the heavyweight championship, giving the champion a respect, and an integrity kind of, and then they stick him in a match like this. And it's just, how are we supposed to take the belt seriously or the championship seriously? And how are we supposed to take Dorado seriously?
Well, that's just it. And again, we know the guy can work and he does some fantastic stuff, but why is that not on display? Why are you booking your champion in one of these matchups when you could have him one-on-one with some of the fantastic talent that's been gracing the MLW ring in the middleweight division? They've got tons of them there. There is no necessity to have these matchups filling all your time when you've got these great competitors that can give you some one-on-one bangers.
That's just it. And especially with Lucha guys, they can do their matches. They can put on a great match, but when there's too many of them, it's just too much stuff. The ring's all clogged up with hurricanranas and all the rest of it. I just, like we've said all along, we've had some excellent Mexican talent come through. I'd like to see them one-on-one. Hey, both you guys, I want to see all your stuff in this match, and let's have a good time. That's the fun thing about Lucha, is just seeing one-on-one, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there can be great Lucha. Yeah, one-on-ones are fantastic in Lucha matches. I know that they love their 3v3 six-man tags and stuff like that. It's just, it's not my cup of tea. It's too much, just back and forth, guys getting their spots in as opposed to actually having a wrestling match. So, again, maybe not our flavor is a better way to put it, but it doesn't seem like it was necessarily anybody's flavor, because I don't see this selling people who wanted to watch week after week. But again, we're glad that they watch our program week after week. We're always happy to party with you guys, whether or not MLW was kicking ass or not. We love you guys, and we want to kick ass with you. And we're going to be kicking ass with you on the second half of the show coming up. We're going to be bringing you an all-new edition of Ring Respect Radio dedicated to Prairie Pro Wrestling. We're going to be talking about Love is Dead and doing a watch-along of some matches with you. Again, I know Bass are salivating. It's PPW time, bro. We're getting there, my man. But we're going to give everybody a quick break, whether you want to go, blast on a joint real quick, like I'm sure the two of us are going to do, or whether you want to grab a beer or just go and, drain some fluids before the next half of the show starts. We're going to give you 2 minutes to be right back here with us for Ring Respect Radio. But as for Fusion, we're out on that. Thanks for joining. We'll see you right away. 2 minutes, people.
My own direction, no one can pull me out. I've always felt different from the others. I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop breathing. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. But I am alive.
back. It is Ring Respect Radio time. And if you're watching the replay of this, you're watching it for the very first time. And thank you for joining us. It's Ring Respect Radio with the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, the man beside me. If you didn't hear me earlier, you're going to hear it again. Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes. We had a 2-minute interval, but we're back and ready to rock and roll with some Prairie Pro Wrestling.
We're back. I'm back. You're back. Everybody's back. And I hope everybody's in the chat for the second half of the show. And we're going to rock with some PPW Nation action tonight, aren't we, Munson?
We sure are. We're going to do a bit of a watch along. We're going to talk about the upcoming event. And we got to give away 2 free tickets to Prairie Pro Wrestling's Love is Dead. Right there. That's the poster for it. We got a big main event match scheduled for that night. It is going to be Saturday, February the 18th, 2023, live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Get your tickets or win them here tonight. Pay attention to what is being said here by myself and Papa Smoke, because the answer will be within the stream here to the question. Be the first to answer that question later, and you'll get 2 free tickets. That's 2 free tickets to the show. Love is Dead. And again, that big ticket boy matchup in that main event there, Papa Smokes. We got on one half El Asesino and the Prairie Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, Sheik Akbar Shabazz. And on the other side, we got the Kelly Bros, Colton Kelly, Cannonball Kelly. They're going to be kicking ass. And again, the stipulation, if one of the Kellys manages to pin the champion, Sheik Akbar Shabazz, in this tag team matchup, that person will then get a shot at the champion at the next Prairie Pro Wrestling event.
Ooh, and that makes the stakes significantly higher in this match. Against everybody wants to get a match against the longest reigning PPW champion in all of history, Sheik Akbar Shabazz. He's held on to that belt since he won it with an iron grip, and he's not letting anybody have it. Oh, there have been a couple close calls, no question about that. But neither Cannonball Kelly nor Colton Kelly have been able to get the job done yet against Sheik Akbar Shabazz. Now we got a tag team match. Shabazz teaming with El Asesino, the nastiest and most violent heel in all of PPW. We're gonna have to reinforce the ring for this. There's a lot of beef in that ring. We're gonna have to reinforce the venue because the fans are gonna go crazy. This match has got a lot of emotion in it, and a lot of build-up, and all those attacks that El Asesino has made on Colton Kelly with the chair, all the things that Sheik Akbar Shabazz has done to Cannonball Kelly, all the sneak attacks with the ladder and everything. There's so much bad blood going into this match. Never mind just between 2 guys, but between all 4 guys. The excitement is going to be electric at this show, Munson.
Sure is. And speaking about electric, we're being joined by my brunch buster brother, Chris Parrish. How are you doing? Glad you're able to join us. And again, we're talking about this big tag team main event we got coming up at Prairie Pro Wrestling. And I mean, tag team matchups haven't exactly been a big thing in Prairie Pro Wrestling yet. In fact, we only had our very first tag team matchup at Seasons Beatings in December when Michael Richard Blaze and the Rhinestone Cowboy Stephen Crow ended up teaming up against the team of Son of Irish and Jack Pride. And again, in a surprise turn, Son of Irish picking up the big victory for his team in that matchup. Huge pops, folks. That was a great night that night.
Absolutely. And Son of Irish has come out as one of the newer talents we've been featuring in PPW out here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And he's come out for a few shows now and really put in a good showing. And in this, the debut tag team match for PPW, they made a huge impact and put down the other team in record fashion, and the fans just eating it up all the way. So the fact that we have a tag team main event on this next show just makes it all the more exciting.
It is going to be excitement big time. And again, 2 of those guys that are in that matchup have locked horns. Again, they locked horns in the big ladder match to determine the Prairie Pro Wrestling champion. That match right there, Sheik Akbar Shabazz, the champion, and Cannonball Kelly. We're going to start right there, Papa Smokes. We're going to hit the watch along right now. Join us for this. Together and releasing it online, which has been a little bit now, but it's always fun to go back to these Papa Smokes to just check out the work that's been done. Again, these two guys always do a kick-ass job. Can't complain about the work that I get out of these guys.
Oh, definitely two of our top stars by far, and the fact that they came together to do some classic work in the match for the first ever awarded PPW Heavyweight Championship. It was just fantastic, and couldn't imagine two better guys for the job.
Yeah, and this, I mean, this all accumulated in this. This was the really the first, outside of that non-sanctioned fight that we had between Jacob Creed and Michael Allen Richard Clark, really the first kind of gimmick match that we had in Prairie Pro Wrestling. And that second one, a ladder match to finally decide the champion, making these guys climb to the top in order to get that championship. It was very fitting to end this, very long tournament that was halted during the time of COVID. Again, we started that 4 rounds to the crown in March of 2020, having to shut down temporarily. But again, you can't keep PPW down. We came back stronger than ever. We finished up that tournament. And that man right there, Sheik Akbar Shabazz, ended up going all the way, and you're going to be able to witness that with us tonight. But again, that doesn't take away for anything. Yeah, there we go, bastard. Guy in suit. So for anybody watching along, that's watching for the very first time, you haven't seen PPW, you're not familiar with the chants from our fans, Guy in suit would actually be our ring announcer there. That is J.G. Muller, probably one of the best voices in the entire business. I don't think they get much better in terms of ring announcers here on the independent scene. And man, Sheik Akbar, he is not a liked individual by the PPW nation at all, folks.
No, Sheiky is just, look at this heel work right here, like not giving a good goddamn about the fans. He's got an insult for every single one. He's grabbing signs out of people's hands. People are flipping him the bird, and he just absolutely doesn't care. I love this guy. He does such great work.
He really does. Sheik Akbar Shabazz, a fantastic talent, a menace inside that ring, and strength beyond belief. Again, we have seen this man lift Cannonball Kelly up over his head before. And Cannonball Kelly, that is a big MFer right there. That guy is larger than life in every sense of the word. And we have witnessed Sheik Akbar Shabazz give that crucifix power bomb to him, throwing his ass right across the entire ring.
If we're lucky tonight, we might get to see it again.
We just might. And again, this is going to be as Sheiky looking straight up there. And that belt, that beautiful belt. I mean, I know we work for the company, but I really do like the design. When that thing came out, that was a beaut.
Well, you remember that it was a labor of love, too. There was a lot of questions and ideas about the design of that belt. And I'm not really much of a belt guy. I don't really care that much as long as it doesn't look bad in a belt in general in its design. But the way this one came out, it really is a beautiful belt. I just love it.
Yeah, me too, Pop. And Pop Smokes, well, here we go. Cannonball Kelly coming out with Johnny Two Fingers. Again, great band that these two guys have together, Johnny Two Fingers and the Deformities. And they were gracious enough to join us on Ring Respect Radio as well once too. And again, as you can see, my editing mistake that happens more than once in this one. Again, for anybody seeing that right there, picture in picture, what happens there is when I do these shows, I've got 3, maybe 4 cameras worth of footage that we do. And when you do the timeline and put them all together, I usually have the hard cam footage running on the one timeline, with the other ones running with small picture in pictures, so that I can decide which angle that I ended up using in the final edit. And every once in a while, you get a late night, your mind slips a little, you get to these types of ages that we're getting to, and you forget to pull one off, and you've already gone through it, and next thing you know, oh shit, I probably should have corrected that before finalizing it, but hey, we all have our bad days, and that's mine. Admitting to it right here, I've effed up a few times when it comes to these edits.
Munson, you've done far more excellent and superior work than any mistakes could count for. Don't ever worry about that, man. I know the hours you spend working on this stuff. You do great work.
It does have some time behind it and everything like that, but it's a labor of love at the same time. Papa Smokes, again, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it, because again, that's one thing I think people assume, that you get into this and that you're going to make it rich by participating. No, it's a lot of time spent and a lot of just sitting there and doing it because of your love for the business, love and passion for it and stuff like that, hoping that people just enjoy it. I mean, that is really my main reason for doing this, is to help out those talented individuals inside that ring, be seen by people who don't get the opportunity to be within Western Canada where they're seen. And at the same time, also doing it because I really enjoy putting smiles on faces. And if I can do that for you guys, as again, our Birdman coming in saying, I enjoy the matches every Saturday. Awesome, because that's exactly why I do this. I want you to enjoy those matches. I want you to be having fun, getting in the action here with us as we kick this thing off. And again, these two big boys, they're going to slug it out with each other. No ball coming in. Sheiky, baby. Yeah, that's right. Sheiky.
Yeah.
Sheiky's fantastic. And hate to break kayfabe a little bit, but Sheiky, love that dude.
Yeah.
Don't always love his actions in the ring, but I love that dude.
Wow.
Look at that. Damn agility. Cannonball Kelly, I mean, you talk about a guy that surprised you. He'll come out you like that. You never see it coming. Oh, just echoed through the entire building right there.
You just know when you have a match against Cannonball Kelly, it's going to be a certain kind of a night at the office, and you're going to have all those burst blood vessels on your chest, and you're going to have dents in your head, and you're going to have a sore back and all the rest of that stuff, because he's a brawler, man, and he'll pull you right into that brawling style. Doesn't matter in the ring, but he's going to take you out of the ring, probably through the concession area, maybe into the parking lot. We've seen all that stuff from Cannonball, and he's an absolute lunatic, and he's not held back by the constraints of having a match in the ring. Look at Johnny Two Fingers interfering here, and he told me he never inserted himself in any matches.
Oh, Johnny. I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, this is championship gold on the line. He's got to insert himself when it matters, kind of thing.
Oh, man. He's opening.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
He's opening himself up for an attack from the Sheik, though. I'm just telling you, it's going to be justified if Sheik doesn't.
Well, I was going to say, too, Johnny likes to insert himself into the PPW posters. I thought that the poster for this particular event, which was called the Hateful Eight, had the ladder along with some of the boys on the poster. And, of course, Sheiky and Cannonball kind of, a little larger size beside the ladder. And then Johnny went and photoshopped himself sitting on top of the ladder. Best PPW poster ever once Johnny got his hands on it. And that ladder getting tossed right up in that ring there. And again, I'm pretty sure, even though I've got this on quiet, that I could still hear Basser echoing his love for this matchup all through that arena. Man, Basser, you make me smile every time I have to edit these things, even if it's been a late night, because listening to you beat some of the boys and cheer for the ones you love is absolutely addicting.
And he's one of the best fans to have at wrestling, because he brings energy and he gives it to the wrestlers, and the wrestlers give it back. It's infectious, He helps get the rest of the crowd going, because somebody's got to start it with the energy. Yeah, man. Never change, because you bring energy to the crowd, and everybody appreciates that. It makes the whole show better.
Yeah, I mean, we missed you last month at Season Beatings. Again, you missed out on the epic first ever tag match in PPW history, but you're going to be there at the next one. I know you are. In fact, I know you're salivating at the thought, because you have an opportunity to win tickets here tonight. That opportunity coming up very soon. Make sure you're subscribed to our local establishment and Prairie Pro Wrestling on YouTube. It'll be the first to answer the question later in the program. And you will win 2 free tickets to Prairie Pro Wrestling Presents Love is Dead on Saturday, February the 18th. Man, that is going to be an electric event. And, we were talking about Son of Irish earlier. He's got a scheduled matchup against Saskatoon's own Rocket Shoes, Tony Novak, that night.
That could be some really good stuff, because those are 2 fast, agile guys. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Cannonball Kelly. Now he's going to build something.
That ring is not going to be in the same shape it was when we put it together after this one.
Hopefully they keep at least one ladder intact here tonight, folks, because I don't know how they're going to quite get up there and pull the title down.
Perish love is dead or love perishes. Nice touch. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you doing on February 18th, Mr. Parrish?
Yeah.
Your tag partner, your partner in crime there from Alberta, son of Irish. He's going to be down here.
Yeah, hop in.
We got Basser. Tony. Oh, Basser, you're gonna make Tony mad one of these days. He's gonna snap on your ass.
A thrill for some of our great fans in the front row there too.
Oh man, this is gonna get ugly right here again. You're talking about the brawling style of Cannonball Kelly. You got Sheik's damn head right up against that ladder. Oh, Sheik got out just in time. I love that shirt, that handmade shirt, that Johnny Two Fingers and the Deformities T-shirt that he's turned around and written "Bite Me, Sheik" right across the back of it.
Yeah,
or "Bite It, Sheik." Sorry, "Bite It, Sheik." Yeah, so anybody who gets an opportunity after this, go check out Johnny Two Fingers and the Deformities. I'm pretty sure they got some work up on YouTube. Check them out. Great guys. They were fun. They were a blast to have on our show.
And Cannonball's the drummer.
Yeah, he really is. I mean,
yeah,
he brings the thunder. It's a good thing we had two ladders on hand because, man, you never know what might happen to one of those ladders in a matchup like this. Especially when you got a brawler like Cannonball Kelly involved. Nothing is safe. I mean, I even felt it the one time too when he was just getting up from a beatdown that Sheik gave him down at ringside, and he comes flying towards me. I got smacked into the side of the ring that night, Papa's folks. I didn't feel the same for quite some time.
Yeah. I've seen you get roughed up a little bit at ringside. I always have to have a little chuckle, after I finish being concerned for you.
You remember the one time too? I mean, I was called right into that ring when we were working with HIW there. Los Rudos did not like some of the stuff that I was saying about them at the time. I was that close to getting a beat up from El Asesino if it had not been for Jeff and Bucky that night. I would have been a dead man.
Yeah, that was shocking events when we were just trying to work camera at ringside, and then all of a sudden Asesino saying we want Bobby Munson in the ring right now. I was like, oh shit, because I knew you'd been chirping them on Twitter and various other places, and you were pretty lucky that night, Munson. I know you had a wet stain in the front of your pants after that particular scenario.
Well, you always bring an extra pair to each and every show, Pops, folks, just in case. You never know what might happen.
Stuff happens.
I mean, we're down there at ringside for quite some time. I mean, it's tough. And again, you know what makes filming Cannonball tough? And you talked about, like, you never know where this guy's gonna end up, and Passer brings extra shirts. He sure does.
Yeah.
Oh, love you. Love when you have all those shirts. You gotta have the different shirts on this time around too, man. It's gonna be fantastic. But what makes filming Cannonball so difficult is that he is that brawler. So you never know where he's gonna end up, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
The concession stand, the audience, all over the place. It makes it hard to keep up, and especially we've got those safety barriers around at ringside to keep the fans separated from the ring and the action going on just a little bit and everything. And trying to leap one of those damn things while trying to chase down Cannonball Kelly, I don't know where the guy gets his energy from. It is outstanding.
Oh, it's nuts. And you talk about doing camera work at the side, like, that is tough down there sometimes. It's okay if the match stays in the ring, but once it's out there, all bets are off, man. And you and I have filmed a number of Cannonball Kelly matches and some other wild brawls, and it's difficult trying to get the shot at the same time as trying to not get in the way of the spot and trying to preserve your own livelihood while these huge behemoth men are being tossed around everywhere. That last battle royal we had to film, I thought I was going to die. I tried to find a safe spot behind the ring bell table there, and even that wasn't safe. I had masses of humanity getting thrown out all around me.
And there is nothing safe about a 300-pound man taking a back body drop onto a freaking ladder. That's insane.
Oh. You can see by the spastic motions of his arms that he could have.
Now Sheik's got some real evil intent as he getting that ladder set up in the corner there. Again, I mean, Sheik, he's another guy. He's just going to stop at nothing to make sure that he walks out victorious. I mean, he will do anything and everything, and he is one of the best because of it. This guy is, you know, a decorated champion all over Western Canada, and I'm sure that wherever his travels take him, this guy is going to win belts everywhere he goes.
Yeah, and look at him. He looks like a wrestler. He's done the work. He's got a good build. He's 6'4", 225, 30 pounds. He's obviously done quite a bit of bodybuilding, and he completely looks the part. He's got a good promo and all that stuff, and he's got the Sheik gimmick going on. It's just so excellent, and his presentation is 100% serious, and he's I'm proud to have him as champion, even though he is nefarious and using all kinds of greasy tactics to hold on to his belt. I'm still proud to have a guy like Sheik because he's a real wrestler in a world where there aren't so many real wrestlers anymore.
You bet he is, but again, no wrestling on display here necessarily. It is all brawl and all pain, and as you see, the cut arm of Cannonball Kelly ended up getting caught up in that ladder when she threw him into the corner, slicing that arm right open, and man, that color is coming through beautifully.
Cannonball Kelly managing to still find something using that damaged arm to fight back against the Sheik.
And just slugging it out. These two have really taken some hits in this matchup. You can really see the fatigue is starting to kick in with these two men at this point.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention they've taken some big hits into some furniture and all that. Now Cannonball Kelly's got an unexpected ripped open arm from flinging into the corner into that metal ladder, and I know it's probably not going to... Oh, wow.
Sheiky always thinking of 2 steps ahead.
I'll say, and Cannonball's down. He's bloody. He's dazed right now, and Sheik Akbar Shabazz has got to use this time.
Look at that. Oh, no. Now Kelly's even draining from his forehead as well, too. Man, he is looking awful out there, Pop Smokes. Oh, man. They got to be careful that those ladders don't end up in a nation. We wouldn't want any of our great fans getting hurt at ringside. That's for damn sure.
I still think this is Cannonball's bread.
You can hear him just electric with the PP dub, PP dub. I love when the nation starts screaming. I love the chants, man. The chants are fantastic. I mean, you guys, I know for a fact that the boys love coming here and performing for you every single time because you guys are so electric. Whether you're being rude or whether you're being helpful to the ones you love, it makes a difference. And we're glad that you guys are probably one of the most vocal crowds in professional wrestling.
That's so true. And for all the people that watch on YouTube and Twitch and the various other places where we show PPW's matches, it's great, but it still doesn't quite capture the excitement and the electricity of being there live. And you can see that it's not that big of a venue, but it's absolutely packed with people, and we have all the time the same fans. we have lots of return fans, lots of new people too, but our fans know the roster. They've got the chants for everybody. They love to yell their heads off and drink some beer. It's such a good time. Everybody always says when there's a wrestling show on, a PPW show, there's nothing more entertaining to do in the city that night than that. And I'm being a wrestling guy. I fully believe that. Uh-oh.
Oh, check his oil. You know, it's funny, Bastard, that you bring this chant up, check his oil, which pertains to Joey Vendetta. We actually just got done calling a Joey Vendetta matchup earlier tonight where the oil dipstick is actually pulled out of his shorts and then used to whip him as a result before the matchup starts. So it's that's where that whole chant comes from for Joey Vendetta, is he tends to have different weapons hiding on him, and one of those happens to be an oil dipstick from a vehicle. And that's where the chant check his oil comes from the PPW Nation.
Victory on his mind, Papa Smokes. This could be it. Sheik Akbar Shabazz is down after that maneuver on the ladder on the outside. But you can see the Sheik is trying to
and
clear
this
the
match has got,
cobwebs.
this has been a huge thing. I should mention Sheik Akbar Shabazz has done great as the champion and everything like that. He's had a lot of great opponents again, too. He's fought the likes of both his opponents on the opposite side of him coming up in Love is Dead. Both Cannonball Kelly and Colton Kelly have had chances at Sheik Akbar, and also young Tommy Gallivan, who is a graduate of the PPW Academy, has also had a crack at Sheik's championship belt, and Sheik always managing to find a way to come out on top.
Well, even Gallivan, that a lot of people didn't think maybe he was ready for a heavyweight championship match, really stepped it up. I mean, he wrestled the match of his life against Sheik Shabazz. You could tell that this kid knew that this could be the biggest match of his career. Getting a title shot in PPW, he was going to make the best of it, and he did. And what a match he had. He actually pushed Sheik Shabazz somewhat to his limits and really gave the Sheik a hard time. Wanted that belt so badly, but the Sheik's a wily character, and he's going to hold on to that belt as long as he can. He's going to keep it in his death grip.
And yes, and as Astrid's hopping in to give a quick hello
Hi,
to
Astrid.
you, Astrid. And again, Astrid is going to be going live here very, very shortly over at her Twitch channel, where her and Cody are going to be talking all about Impact Wrestling. So again, make sure that you check out that show here. Make it an Impact, coming up very, very soon. We will be probably concluding just after this matchup and our giveaway. So again, stay tuned if you're wanting to get in on those PPW tickets, because at the conclusion of this matchup, Papa Smokes, I think it's question time. Because I know the answer is out there. If you've been paying attention, it's definitely out there.
Oh, boys, some lucky fan is going to get the best thing you can get for a PPW fan. 2 free tickets to February 18th, the big show coming up. And I'm really excited. And it's fun to watch one of the classic matches of PPW while we're doing this contest. What could be more fitting?
It's going to be awesome. That's for damn sure. And we got Bastard coming in. If I don't win, I'll get Doyle hot dog tickets. It's all good. And again, this is something else we should explain. So anybody who isn't ever here in a live capacity, one of the other super fans that's known for very, very vocal sounding chants would be the big man Doyle, the man in the very colorful suits. And he has created what is known as the Mike McSugar Wiener Eaters Club of Saskatchewan. There's different chapters based on different cities. And what this essentially is fans of pro wrestler out here, Mike McSugar, who eat hot dogs together. They see how many pictures of them eating hot dogs they can get. It's become a fun little Prairie Pro Wrestling tradition now, whether Mike McSugar's on the card or not, to have the PPW Nation at intermission go outside, and Doyle buys everybody a hot dog and gets a picture with him and some of the wrestlers. It's a great time.
And that's what
Johnny's in trouble.
That hot dog eating society is one of the fun things about PPW shows, is because at I like to call it halftime, I guess it's called intermission, but everybody goes outside, has a cigarette, has a smoke, whatever, stretches their legs and gets some fresh air. But that Doyle gets so many hot dogs for everybody, and then everybody has their hot dog, poses for a picture. It kind of brings the fans together to do one thing together, you know, no matter where you're sitting in the venue or no matter who you're cheering for or cheering against. You can come out and have a hot dog and meet some other fans at the break. And I just think it's kind of a fun thing for the fans to do. Oh, good Lord.
It never gets easier to watch.
Oh, good Lord.
Holy smokes is right. Yeah, I mean, being right there, right in that shot, I mean, it gets a little nerve-wracking down at ringside because you never know, something flies the wrong direction or anything like that. I'm always trying to be aware of my surrounding as well too. As she climbs that ladder, I don't think Cannonball gets up from this one. That's for damn sure. He is out of it, and that's how Sheik Akbar Shabazz comes the very first and only Prairie Pro Wrestling champion. Man, what a matchup it was. What a night that was. And again, Shiki has been killing it ever since as the champion of Prairie Pro Wrestling. Hope everybody enjoyed watching that with us. Let us know. Would you like to see more Prairie Pro Wrestling watch-alongs and things of that nature here on Ring Respect Radio on the second half of the double feature on Thursday nights? I think we can do more dedicated PPW shows every once in a while, Pop Smokes. I think this was quite successful.
I think so too, and I like that we started with that match because that night and that match are special in my heart because it was such a long journey to get there, and you remember that you and I did commentary and video work for the previous company that ran in town, and then when that kind of went downhill, we were a little bit disheartened and kind of scrambling to think what can we get doing, and then the germ of an idea started for PPW amongst you and I and some other people, and then that started getting going. Then so long raising funds and everything else to get PPW going, and then massive success the first few shows, 3-4 shows, and then COVID hits and just completely derailed us, and we couldn't run for more than a year.
Yeah.
And that was just, it took the wind out of everybody's sails. It was such a downer. It was such a kick in the balls. And just to come back and finish that tournament for the first champion, to have the belt all that time, but nobody wearing it was just so frustrating. And we couldn't do the matches, and we couldn't have our good time and keep making all our original wrestling content. And yeah, it was just it was a dead zone of a time, and it was difficult. And just the way we got through it. And then that night, crowning the first ever champion, handing that belt, seeing a Sheik holding it up in the ring was just like, we finally got there. But it took a lot longer than we thought it was going to, but we got there. That's why that match and that evening were special to me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Papa Smokes. And speaking of special, we're going to give a giveaway. It's giveaway time. We've been promising it all show. We've been seeing all the advertisement for it. It's time to give away 2 tickets to Prairie Pro Wrestling Presents Love is Dead live Saturday, February 18th, live in Saskatoon. So all you people who are able to make it out that want that opportunity, pay attention, because I've said it earlier. The big main event of Love is Dead is a tag team matchup. Name the only other tag team matchup that we have had in Prairie Pro Wrestling. Who were the 4 wrestlers involved in that particular matchup? I will give you all a minute or two here, and we'll see if somebody could come up with that answer. First one to answer it is going to win those tickets to Prairie Pro Wrestling Presents Love is Dead. So again, we're just going to wait and see if we can find ourselves a winner here, Papa Smokes, because I'm sure somebody, one of our great fans, is just, they're thinking right now, they're scratching their head. LOL, Doyle takes for, you didn't pay attention, bastard. Well, geez, if I don't get an answer here in just a few more moments, I might have to change the question. Oh, we got someone coming in with a name.
Maybe it's too tough to have all 4, Munson.
It might be tough to have all 4. Maybe I need a different question. It's almost unfair at that point again, too. So, how about this? We'll try this because, again, Pablo, thank you for joining us as well, too. I'm really glad that you came in and you did get one of the combatants. We were looking for all 4. But again, Pablo, if you're interested in getting those tickets, if you can name me the other 3 quickly, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I'm going to change the question in just a quick moment here. So I'll give you another about, say, 20, 30 seconds here to see if you can come up with the other 3. If not, we will move on to a secondary question. which will involve Love is Dead, actually, because I got one for that one all lined up here. So we'll just wait it out for just a few more seconds here. And yes, Basser, I did tell you to smoke at halftime, but the answer was actually there while we were talking during the matchup. So you have no excuses other than the fact that maybe you just smoked a little too much and couldn't pay attention anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only real excuse that you got.
He's lifting weights in the garage instead of listening.
That's right. He's man caving it up right now. All right. Anyway, so I'm seeing Pablo, not quite sure. Okay, I'm going to change this up for you guys. I'm going to give one more opportunity and see if anyone can come up with this one. So we have the tag team main event coming up at Love is Blind. On one side, you've got the champion Sheik Akbar Shabazz and El Asesino. The other side, Colton Kelly and Cannonball Kelly. What is the big stipulation in the matchup?
All right.
The answer should be there too. I know I said this one as well. So think about it for a moment. Let me know what that stipulation is, and you could be going to Love is Blind absolutely free of charge. I'll give it a moment. Otherwise, I'm not sure how we're going to play this one, Papa Smokes. I'm not too sure just yet, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get an answer there.
You need a drum roll.
We might have it here, right here. If the Kelly Bros pin the champ, they get a future championship matchup. Our Birdman 15.
All right.
Congratulations. You just won 2 free tickets to Prairie Pro Wrestling Presents Love is Blind. What I'm going to need for you, I believe that you know Papa Smokes. So Papa Smokes, either you can provide me the information or just make sure that you get your information to us about your name and the name of who is going to be joining you. And you will be on the list. Just check in at the door when you come in, give your names, and you have 2 free tickets courtesy of Prairie Pro Wrestling and the Video Bros. And we really, really appreciate you coming in and being able to answer that one. Pablo Spanish, you were so close on the original question. I know you had Son of Irish down there, and I do apologize that you didn't quite get it all, but do hope that you'll still come join us on February the 18th in a live capacity. It'll be great. And we know Bastard's going to be there as well, too. We're hoping to pack the place. But Papa Smokes, I think we're coming to an end of the show there. So why don't you tell the good people, whoever it is, they can reach out to good old Papa Smokes.
All right. If I'm online, I'm partying with Elon Musk in his free speech wonderland known as Twitter. I'm at smokes_Papa. And on Twitch, I am at Papa_Smokes_.
Wonderful stuff. That's where you can find Papa Smokes. Again, you can find me all throughout our local establishment with shows here. We've got Beats and Beatdowns on Wednesday nights. We got, of course, Fusion and Ring Respect on Thursday nights. And, of course, Sunday. You can check out myself and Chris Parrish bringing you Busting Out. And, again, this weekend, we got a very special guest joining us, as we tend to like to do. This particular guy is Heel Kevin, and we're going to be joining his channel in just a moment. We're going to be raiding over there. If you're watching on YouTube, you will stick with us for the duration as we go out. But we are heading on over to see Heel Kevin right now. Make sure you give him a big ole from all of our friends here at our local establishment. And make sure to tune in with myself and Chris Parrish this coming Sunday for Busting Out with Mr. Heel Kevin. We're heading on over there now. And as I said, if you are joining us right now on YouTube, we thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everything that you do for us. We will see you again next Thursday night, and we look forward to more time spent with you. Take care. We'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone.